It's my thing is spinning. We're live. We're live. We're live.
Excellent. We love to be alive, right?
We love to
Yeah.
be alive. We love to be
Yeah.
live. And here we are live. Okay, I'm just going to check a couple things to make sure indeedy, we are live. Hold on. We're going to get a little bit of an echo for a second. Come on. Come on. Nope, it's not working. So I'm just going to trust that all is good. Right? Because I'm with Dr. Sue Morter, and how could it not be? All is good. If you're here joining us, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up or say, yes, we can hear you and see you okay. Say hello to us because there's a lot of people joining you. Just let us know that we're coming through okay. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Liz Dawn, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Celebrate Your Life events. We've been doing live events for 25 years all across the world.
Beautiful. And it has been a beautiful 25 years.
Yes. And next to me is the amazing and the best-selling author of The Energy Codes, Dr. Sue Morter. And Dr. Sue has been teaching for, I would say, about 25 years, right?
Yeah, well, yes, even longer than that. But I've been teaching this work of the energy codes that has become the energy codes for about that long. Yes.
And Dr. Sue has been one of our featured speakers at our Celebrate Your Life conferences, our International Women's Summit, and she is just a complete rock star and so totally needed right now. We need her work. We're going to talk about her work. We're going to talk about you guys. And by the way, I'm going to announce this right now. If you start having any questions during our conversation, please put it in the comments. The minute you hear something that you might have a question about, put it in the comments and I'll make sure and scroll through the comments. And everybody's saying hi. There's Kathy and Roberta and Patty and Bailey Dog and Fliss and Bonnie and Suzanne and Ashley and Audrey and Teresa. And there's a lot of people here. This is great.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You know, that reminds me of like the little romper room mirror when they used to say, I see Betty and Billy and Joe. It's when we list off the names, it feels like that. It takes me back to my heart when we were young and innocent and had no idea that these kinds of pandemic things could happen. And here we are, the grown-up version of us, about to take a big step. We're about to take a big step.
Absolutely. Taking that leap, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Yerusha is here, and Claudia, and Amy, and Bill Van Horn. Hi, Bill. Bill's met you in person. He was at Celebrate Your Life Scamania. Loves your work.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, Bill.
So, Dr. Sue,
Yes.
let's hit it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it all. Let's solve everybody's questions and issues that they're having.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about what's been going on right now, how to get through this in a little bit of an easier fashion. This is what we have all, so many of us have been preparing. We've been learning and practicing. We've got spiritual practices. And during these wild and interesting times that we're in, now we get to take all of these practices and actually live the principles and walk through the principles. And so you've been answering a lot of questions and working and teaching with a lot of people these past few months, Dr. Sue. Can you share with us what is the one thing that's been standing out for you that people have been struggling with, that the energy codes and all the work that you do can kind of assist us and guide us through working through all these challenges?
Oh, yeah, beautiful question. So I was just speaking with one of my team members. We make the joke that it takes a village to live my life because of my schedule and all the things that I'm doing, traveling and teaching. And so we effectively call our team the village people, the village that lives my life for me. I was speaking with one of them this morning, just in the hallway here, about how grateful I am that my focus has been in this way for the last 30 years of my life, because I am so very prepared for this moment. And I'm so grateful that my work has been also focused on teaching other people how to live in such a manner that moments like this don't derail them, that don't derail us. In fact, there is a perspective which I so love to share with people. It takes a little longer to share it than we have in this moment, but I do plan on sharing that in the event that is coming up that I'm sharing through you, Liz, and Celebrate Your Life with Greg Braden. And I'm very much looking forward to being able to have the space to go into this concept where people can really learn it and land with it and relate to it and embody it. Mm-hmm. Because this perspective shows us that what we're going through right now is right on time, that this perspective of the higher context for what humanity is actually going through in its own evolution would say that at some point in time, every human being has to go through a tremendous upheaval of their reality, that their misinterpretation is going to have to be reconciled, that we've actually been misinterpreting who we are and the capacity that we do have and what we're meant to be doing on this earth. We are conditioned to believe that we are here to respond and to react and to try to deal with and contend with the outer world and the way people are and the way things go. And we're actually built for so much more than that it's actually insulting, to the spirit to only ever allow ourselves to cope or to deal with or to respond to life's circumstances. And so the spirit doesn't get to live its full vitality until we start recognizing a bigger picture perspective. And this bigger picture perspective would say that anytime disillusionment is occurring in your life, it's an opportunity for the soulful self to pierce up through the personality self and set itself free. Because when we're being driven by our personalities and living life from the conditions of our upbringing and our beliefs that we were just born into and what we've adopted culturally, etc., when we're living that life, we're not living our full potential. We're just getting by. And as long as everything's going smoothly and we can control our external environment, we feel safe and we feel okay. And so we don't really think that we should be changing any operating system that we're living on. But then all of a sudden, a pandemic, enters stage left and everybody doesn't know what to do because our external world, which we're used to being able to predict or control to some degree, is now unpredictable and uncontrollable. And no one knows what to do unless they are dropped in and integrated and awake at this soulful self level. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be bringing to the program that Greg and I are going to be teaching, because it's imperative that people learn how to come from this place. And most of our culture has been clueless to it. And so they're in a very deep challenge right now. Many people are depressed, they're confused, they are uncertain about the future, they're grieving and they don't know what to do with their energies of grief and guilt and all kinds of things. From full spectrum. Some people are feeling guilty because their life is going pretty well while they're watching all kinds of other people suffering. And other people at the other end of the spectrum are suffering and feeling all kinds of emotional states because of that. What are they doing wrong? What's wrong? Why do they deserve this? And I want to set, some clarity down for people in this program of redefining who we are and why we're here and what this is all about, so that we're no longer afraid and that we can actually turn this into one of the most productive, life-changing times in this lifetime. And so there's my long answer to your question, but
we've got this moment, right?
All my answers won't be that long, Liz, but I wanted to share that today. I woke up this morning thinking about, what do people need to know? What's going on here? Well, how can I share with people? And luckily, we decided to do a Facebook Live together. And so it's the perfect opportunity to just roll that out there. And here we are.
Exactly. I am, Patty Roberts just asked what event that we're looking for. And I'm sitting here trying to find, I've got a little banner that I should put up. Okay, so here's the event that Dr. Sue was talking about. I'm assuming that most of you know who Greg Braden is. Again, New York Times bestselling author of The Divine Matrix, of Wisdom Codes, of many books. And I just don't know out there who is as articulate and who gives game-changing information the way Greg Braden does and Dr. Sue Morter do. So we're bringing them together in a program, and I'm very, very excited about it. They wanted to work together. This was a perfect opportunity. We're doing the event online, so you don't even have to worry about traveling. And I went ahead and put the URL right up there. So it's our website, celebrateyourlife.com/human potential. And until next Tuesday, we've got a discount code. Dr. Sue is your discount code for $75 off of the already discounted price. So go ahead and check that out. It's going to be an amazing program. It starts on October 16th, goes through the 18th. Dr. Sue is going to be doing body awake yoga. Greg is going to be teaching. Dr. Sue is going to be teaching. And then the two of them are going to have conversations together where all of you will actually get to ask some questions. And we're using what I call a super Zoom platform. I love that. Super Zoom.
Super Zoom.
Yeah, the Super Zoom platform. So you're not just watching a webinar, you're actually participating. So Dr. Sue and Greg are going to see all of you on the screen. They're going to be able to interact with all of you. You're going to be able to ask questions at the end of the program. You're going to be, it's just going to be a lot more interactive than just sitting and watching a regular webinar. One of the things that we're known for at Celebrate Your Life events is bringing community together and connection together, not just the speakers, but also the people from all over the world. So I'm really, really happy to say that we have figured out how to do this online, which was no easy task. So we've got a production company behind the scenes taking care of all this. And it's really going to be a fantastic program. We're bringing together two of the greatest minds ever of science and spirituality. And we're going to be talking all about exactly what Dr. Sue is sharing. And I'm so excited about this program because we've also put together a whole list of bonuses. So Dr. Sue's offering an entire course as a special bonus once you sign up, in addition to the course. So it's kind of like getting 2 for 1. So I hope that all of you will join us and take advantage of that discount. It's only available until next Tuesday, the 22nd.
I think it's a really important time, Liz. The reason that I put these extra bonuses in there is that people are so vulnerable right now and they're so confused. And I felt like if I could give them all kinds of background information that give them experiential techniques to be doing in the now moment, even between now and the time that the event starts, that they would even be able to receive more from the event and be able to engage fully. I know that when people start utilizing the techniques that I teach in the manifesting day, which is a recording we're giving everyone as a bonus, a full day of techniques to utilize to start moving the energy in your body, which allows the energy in your life to start moving. There are 11 billion bits of information that are bombarding us every millisecond, and they come to us, not to our head, they come to our gut. They actually land at the gut level, and then they rise up through the heart, and they get filtered through love, and then they rise up through our primitive brain and get filtered again. If they have enough momentum, they come up into these high executive brain centers, and we begin interpreting these billions of bits of information with grace and ease on a global scale, on a universal, a cosmic level, which allows us to immediately feel bigger than this life experience that we're having right now. And so we just feel differently about it because of how the energy is moving in the body. And then the mind starts drawing different conclusions than the ones that it gets caught up in and starts pontificating about worst case scenarios for protective purposes. That's what it does. But it won't feel the need to jump into these protective perceptions when there's already a sense of well-being. So that's one of the things that we're establishing right off the bat with people so that they can begin to remember who they are and have a greater sense of who they are than they ever did before these circumstances started to unfold in our world in the last 6 months. So I put that together as well as 108 ways to embody one's magnificence as another part of the bonus for this reason. It's a simple thing that you can play in your car, you can play it in your house while you're walking around, while you're taking a walk in the woods, while you're cleaning house or doing whatever, that give you one idea after another that are not just based on regular life things, but they speak to regular life things. They are based on universal law. They are based on quantum science, and they are based in cosmic law and spiritual law that has been true for thousands of years. And in those thousands of years, humanity has been through these types of circumstances many, many times. And we're here still experiencing it again. So this 108 ways to embody your magnificence is to help people get a perspective on what's going on here that keeps us from being so darned afraid of tomorrow, of how is it going to be okay? What's going on? I've lost my job. I don't know when I'm going to be able to be employed again, etc. And these kinds of things, fears, along with the griefs and the sadness of maybe losing loved ones or being afraid for our loved ones that we can't even connect with, you put all that together and humanity is facing a lot of stress. And what I want people to realize is that that stress could work in your favor instead of just be something that you have to endure or wait out or overcome. There's so much more in store for us. And that's what I look forward to this program about, is redefining what it even means to be a human being, because we have been clueless from the perspective of just stimulus response, 5 sensory individual who's trying to make do in this world. There is so much more available to us. And these circumstances, ironically, create the perfect set of nuances that are going to help us break through into this new reality. So Greg and I are both very excited about sharing these concepts together and weaving them together for people in a way that they will walk away not just knowing information, but knowing how to be and what to do to embody and benefit from that information, because it's our time, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that the way you shared it in terms of all of the, bonuses that you're offering, especially that course. I've never taken that course, the Energy Codes of Manifestation, of Manifesting. It's a 5-hour course. I'm going to actually do it in preparation for the event on the 16th. I think that's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so Vivian has asked, or I just want to share what Bill Van Horn has shared. Bill said, "I'll be there." Oh, Bill, that's great. Liz and Sue, you are both doing a great job. And I look to how you are handling these circumstances and trying to emulate the resilience and strength you are showing. Oh, that's one. Thank you. Reinventing our lives right in the middle of the unknown is the hardest thing anyone could do. And you are both doing it admirably. And many of us are finding our own will to move forward in oh my goodness, in your examples. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you, I take that to heart. And I plan on sharing in the times that I'm going to be speaking exactly what I do to allow this to be benefiting me, to allow this time to be a time for me to redefine myself internally, deeply, emotionally, intimately, as well as out in the world and the business world, and how things are working together. And when something occurs, how I turn it around and reference this thing I call the quantum flip, where I'm constantly looking at it from a different perspective than, oh no, it's more like, oh, okay, now I'm supposed to do this. How do I know? Because this is the direction things are going, and I'm up for that. So I'm going to share with people how they can translate the things that are occurring in our lives and in their lives individually in such a way that it is empowering to them. I have to say that in the last 6 months, I have come to know myself better than I have in the last 20 years, since an awakening that I had 20 years ago. And let me just pop this up. I just saw this sitting here. I had an awakening about 20 years ago that basically sent me from living here to living here, and realizing that I'm not here to seek my own higher self. I am the higher self, and my project is to become fully human, is to drop in here into humanity and be the spiritual being, this universal cosmic quantum being that I truly am, right inside this suit of skin, right inside this third dimensional being. And that's what I'm going to share with people, how to make that quantum flip and change that perspective once and for all, so that we're no longer seeking, but that we're practicing finding, we're practicing having, and we're going to go through it experientially. So I'm going to take people through one experience after another that allows them on a cellular level to recognize this deep eternal truth of them, because that one knows what to do in these kinds of times. That one is available. Yeah.
We're going to spend an entire weekend immersed in it. That's what I love.
Yeah, I know. I'm really looking forward to it.
Really immersed in that energy.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. What is the one thing that you do and if any of you have any questions, please make sure and post them if anybody has any questions. Vivian did ask, can you give an example? But I don't know what that was in reference to, because it was a while ago. And I don't know what so Vivian, if you want to kind of be more specific about what kind of an example you're thinking about. Okay. All right. There's no questions. I'm just kind of monitoring the comments to see if anybody has anything to share. We've got a lot of people from Belgium. Hi, people from Belgium, and Barbara Nyman. And hello, everybody. It's wonderful to see everybody here. But what is the one thing that you think you do every day since this entire thing started in March that maybe is a little bit different, that you found really assist you in staying balanced and staying focused and staying connected to your soulful self?
Well, one thing that I had to focus on is upping my practices, because when we are being invited into a greater degree of expansion, we have to learn to anchor ourselves more. So I do these practices that I call the anchoring code from the Energy Codes book that I wrote, where I'm learning to anchor. I'm teaching people how to anchor in the core, their consciousness in the core of their body, rather than coming up here and living in their heads and overthinking and analyzing and predicting and worst case scenarioing. And we cause ourselves a lot of pain by living up here. So I'm teaching people how to come down into their hearts, and not just to their hearts, but to come down even deeper still into the deep core wisdom center, down just below the navel even, and to breathe open into this solar plexus and to stretch it open so that my own personal power can be flowing up to the heart space, so that wisdom and power and love can be connected. So that's something that I'll be teaching right off the bat in our program, so that people can be doing that the whole time we go through the program together, the whole weekend. One thing that I always teach is that what we do in these kinds of moments is determined by what we do in the in-between moments. So what we have been doing, because people always ask, what do you do in the midst of a crisis? And I say, well, what I do in the midst of a crisis is what I do in all the in-between moments, because in the in-between moments, I'm preparing myself to always be awake and aware and clear and grounded and embodied. And so the techniques that I'm teaching people are how to do that, so that you're always living in that way. I don't feel the stress of a pandemic. I feel an opportunity to redefine and to awaken and to take this moment and step right into every single thing that I've ever wanted to be doing. You know, for years, a decade, I was getting on an airplane almost every week. In the last few years, definitely every week, sometimes twice a week, to go somewhere and teach this work all around the world, traveling all the time. And now I find it beautiful that I can reach more people by staying home and being here in a connected situation like this. So in that way, there is a benefit. I love that people in 70 countries around the world are participating in my work that never would have been able to get on a plane and fly to the United States and attend one of my events in person. So there is benefit and gift coming to everyone if we just realize that we can sit at home and we can receive information such as what Greg and I are going to be teaching in October, in ways that are simpler, more efficient, more effective than if everyone had to pack a bag and get on a plane and fly to a location, get a hotel and go and do that thing. So we embrace the benefits of what is occurring. And the next thing you know, you're dialed into a frequency where more benefits become obvious to you. And then more benefits become obvious. Because you're dialed into that radio station of appreciation and gratitude. And some people would think it's kind of tough to get to gratitude in a moment like this. But there's something in your life to be grateful for, and you have to find it. You have to responsibly go after it, find it, and embody that and celebrate it. Because when you do, you're now dialed into a different radio station. You're dialed into a different vibrational frequency. And more of the same shows up, because that's where your focused attention is landing.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are just joining us, let me just mention really quickly that we've got Greg Braden, New York Times bestselling author of The Divine Matrix and several other books. He's written, I think, 5 or 10 books, something like that. And bestselling author of The Energy Codes, Dr. Sue Morter. We've got Greg Braden and Dr. Sue Morter for the first time ever together, 2 of the most brilliant minds of science and spirituality in, I believe, the world. I'm going to say the world. And we're bringing them together for an event. And what the beauty of it, as Dr. Sue is sharing, is that everybody around the globe can participate. And it will be live. We will be recording it. So the recording will be available 14 days post the event date. So if you can't make it there live, we will have the recording available. And I went ahead and posted the URL right now. It's on our website at celebrateyourlife.com. And when you type in the discount code Dr. Sue, it will discount it another $75 from the already discounted price. We've really made this program affordable. It's a full weekend event. Dr. Sue's going to be teaching body awake yoga. Greg is going to be doing some heart coherence exercise. They're going to have dialogue together. There'll be a chance for everybody to ask questions and answers. We're just going to have a really amazing experience using the new technology of being able to super Zoom. So Dr. Sue can see everyone, Greg can see everyone. We can all see each other, and you'll be able to ask questions. So Vivian does have a question. So go ahead and check that out and make sure and join us. That discount code, by the way, is going away next Tuesday, which is the 22nd. So make sure and take advantage of that discount. And there's all kinds of fantastic bonuses that will prepare you for the class on October 16th. So when you purchase your ticket, you get a whole wonderful package of bonuses that we've put together. So Vivian has a question. She specified her question from before.
Yeah.
Her question is, as a first responder, I am left standing as families are losing loved ones on top of losing their jobs. How do you explain to them that things will be okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. So one of the things that they are going to be learning in the face of all of this is a deeper sense of love and appreciation that they have for these family members that they are losing, these circumstances that are changing so dramatically. One of the things that will surface from that is their knowledge of their capacity to love. And so if they can put their attention on the appreciation of who they are as a human being, and a testament to that is how much they care, and how and the sadness is actually in proportion to the depth of their being, the depth of their heart. And so if one can find just a different way of looking at what is happening in this way that I'm speaking of, they will find that there's actually a beauty in all of the pain. I can say that in some of the most painful times of my life, the times of greatest loss, losing things that I never wanted to imagine myself not being without, in those moments, I came to know the depth of love that I'm capable of experiencing. And I have to say that I'm in great appreciation for having that knowledge, for knowing who I am in this way. I've also experienced the loss of a relationship that I thought I was going to be in forever. And I just thought that it was going to be a good thing. And there were many, many difficulties that happened in the departure of that relationship. And I had never experienced a negative experience of parting ways with someone before. And even after all of that, I knew that if that person walked in the room, as many mean things and unkind things that were said and done, that I would be there for that person no matter what. And I was so appreciative to learn that about myself, that no matter what, I would love again. I would always be available to love, and I would appreciate and be in, I would be available to love. And it is in these times of great, great difficulty that we kind of are torn open and we rip into a part of our being that apparently no other set of circumstances would call us into. How do we know? Because these are the circumstances that are happening, and these are the experiences and responses that we are having to them. So how do you tell someone that it's going to be okay? By knowing in your own heart that there is a higher purpose for everything that is happening. And when you stand beside that person, just knowing that, even if you don't know what to say, that energy emanates off of you. and it has a stabilizing presence for their energy field. And they are benefited just by being in your company, even if no words can be spoken. So by being next to them and knowing in your heart that there is a purpose to everything that is unfolding, and that every soul that is experiencing what they are experiencing is evolving because of those experiences. And ultimately, we awaken to our own eternalness and our capacity to only know love to be the most important value on the planet. And these types of times are actually, stripping away the veils and stripping off the layers that have kept us isolated and closed off and protective of our hearts. If we are just willing to feel what we're feeling and have it, and let ourselves experience ourselves having it, and just stand there and breathe, the subconscious begins to recognize, okay, I can experience this and I can still be okay. I'm still here. It's all right. Even though it's not the way I want this situation to go, and I never wanted to be without this person, that even in the face of that, I'm okay. I'm still here, and I can still love, and I can still experience love through memories and appreciation and gratitude. So we ultimately are here to learn about love. That's it. And so if we filter every life experience through that agenda, through that criteria, it starts to soften and it starts to guide us into a deeper knowing than we ever knew before. So it's many things like that. I want to take you by the hand and walk you through example after example in that weekend, so that we emerge from that understanding the point of all this and how we can benefit from it by learning, 1,000 more ways to love. And if that's the outcome of all of this, I say it did a good service to humanity.
Wow. I don't know if all of you out there can feel that energy shift, but every time I talk with you, and every time you start speaking about the soulful self, and you start speaking about what you just did is just holding that energy for that person that is going through trauma, it all makes so much sense, and I can feel my energy just completely shift. I don't know if everyone out there watching is having the same experience.
Yeah, there's a way that we can breathe in a moment like that.
Yeah.
There's just a simple way that we can learn to breathe in a moment like that will be so soothing for the other person and for ourselves in those moments. And the different breathwork different breathwork practices are something that I'm going to be bringing to this program, because sometimes you don't have the words. Sometimes words don't work, but your breath and your love will always matter, and they will always be transformative. Love and the power of the breath behind the love is the greatest transformative energy on the planet. It is the highest vibrational frequency. And so if we can learn to steward that in the right moment, in the right way, we are bringing it exponentially to not only the person we're standing next to, but for miles in every direction, when we really get focused on the power and the purpose of love.
Okay, just very quickly, for those of you who are just joining us and didn't hear the previous announcement, we've got Greg Braden and Dr. Sue Morter together for the first time ever doing a program, an online program. Vivian is sending you hearts. I'm assuming that's a beautiful thank you.
Yes. Very good.
Beautifully stated. It was really so elegantly stated. It's perfectly stated. So Dr. Sue and Greg Braden are going to be partnering to do a program on October 16th through the 18th, and it's online, so everyone can participate. It is going to be live online, and the website is celebrateyourlife.com. When you enter the discount code Dr. Sue upon checking out, you get another $75 discount. And go ahead and read the website. I'm not going to go through it again, but there's all kinds of fantastic bonuses. As a matter of fact, Dr. Sue is one of the bonuses, is offering a full course on the energy codes and manifesting. So that course will definitely prepare your energy for the actual live course that they're doing, which is pretty phenomenal. So definitely check that out. We're going to have such an experience together, because I know every time I'm with you, I say this to you, and I mean it. Every time I'm with you, I can just feel this complete energy shift, because you're speaking truth to my soul. And by the hearts and the thank yous and the thumbs up and saying that's beautiful, I'm feeling like everybody else is experiencing that same thing. It's you are speaking truth to our souls and our soulful self. And it immediately like puts me in an alignment. Like, can I just come hang out with you every single day?
Please do. I love to be with you, Liz. So you
Yeah,
bet. Please come on.
that's what the program's going to do, is that it'll enable us to really be entrenched in it and immersed in it, and especially all of the other, great special packages, the bonuses that we've put together, which are really kind of fun. I love that because it feels like it's a 2-for-1 almost, because there's so many great things, and Greg's got a couple of things that he's put in there as well. And again, it just prepares us to know more about your work and to get in alignment with and getting ready for the course. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. So if there aren't any more questions, we're going to sign off for right now, but we'll be back again. We'll be back again. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a really good time with Greg and Sue, that is.
Indeed. Thank you, Liz, for everything that you're doing to bring this together. It is a very, very important time. I don't really consider it a crisis. I do consider it a true opportunity, though. And thank you for making this happen and providing the space for Greg and I to come together, because I know the many people that will be served. And I know just from the outcomes of my programs, and I'm sure that Greg experiences the same thing, and the feedback from the people who go through these things, how their lives are changed. So thank you for the great work that you're doing to pull all these people together in this forum that we get to share. The bridging of science and spirituality, and most importantly, the human potential and redefining who we are, having an understanding of how to go about experiencing ourselves, expressing in our lives, in our fullness, and experiencing it with love and grace and ease.
Absolutely. Yeah. I lied. There is one more question, and I apologize. I didn't see that one, Suzanne. She said, read the question.
Okay.
So we're going to have one more question.
Okay. Sure.
Suzanne has asked, I wonder if when we throw our energy into the room and other places, can we absorb negative beings or negative energy?
One of the things that I'm going to be teaching you how to do in this course is how to anchor inside the core of your body and animate and activate this bonfire of your heart space, because the heart is literally a transmuting quality. It changes vibrational frequencies from one frequency to another. It changes energy from one vibration to another vibration. If everyone has experienced this, if you've been carrying a grudge for a long time and then you finally decide to let go of it, there's a felt shift in the energy of your own being. If you've been walking around thinking that someone didn't like you, or something didn't connect, or something was wrong between you and another individual, and you finally found the wherewithal to address it and approach it and have a conversation, only to learn that they thought the same thing about you and that it was a big misunderstanding, and you're like, oh my God, it's crazy that I'm wasted so much time. So that's another example of energy shifting just because we've changed our perspective on something. So if it was easy to change our minds, we would have all changed our minds, because we've learned a long time ago that our thoughts and our beliefs are affecting our reality. And so what I'm doing is teaching people how to come up underneath that and work with the raw energy, change the energy, and that allows your mind to change very easily. It's like your mind is the last to know that you're okay. But the moment that it realizes it, because of all this breath work that you're doing, it's very real. And the mind dissolves its rigid protectivisms left and right as we begin to do this. So when you walk into a room and there are negative energies there, it is only ever going to affect you if you're not in your body. If you're not in your body, then you don't have the ability to use this blazing bonfire to transmute that energy into something non-harmful and actually transmute it into something beautiful. So what I'm going to be teaching you how to do is to take that energy that you sense, or maybe you don't even sense it, but you feel something's not right, but you don't know where to place it, to land in your core of your body, breathe in this blazing bonfire of the truth of who you are, and transmute it left and right. Instead of strategizing on additional ways to get safe or protect yourself, I want people to realize that the more I feed that reality, the bigger that reality gets, and the more things I have to protect myself from, and the more protective techniques I have to learn. And it's a waste of our time. It's a waste of our true capacity. So what you're going to be learning in this course is how to blaze this bonfire that just transmutes the energy so that you don't have to wall yourself off in protection or box yourself in order to be safe, because that's no way to live. So it's a perfect time in our environment to learn how to be this transmuting machine instead of a protective, fearful individual who's just trying to do everything they can to survive this time. This is an opportunity for us to make that flip. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do.
Ooh, I hope you got that, Suzanne. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to sign off. But once again, we have Dr. Sue Morter and Greg Braden for the first time ever doing a program together. And they'll be doing that on October 16th through the 18th online. And it's not just a regular online course. We're going to do Super Zoom, as I call it, Super Zoom platform. So they'll be able to see you. You'll be able to see them. You'll be able to interact with them. They'll be able to interact with you. So it's going to be really exciting. It's not just sitting and watching a screen. It's going to be more interactive. And if you go ahead and visit the website, celebrateyourlife.com, we have a discount code until next Tuesday, the 22nd, that's available. If you type in Dr. Sue, you'll get an extra $75 off of the already discounted price. It's on sale right now, but then we're also offering another $75 discount. So check that out, and I hope you'll all join us, because we are going to have such an amazing, powerful, life-changing experience with Dr. Sue and Greg Braden. So Dr. Sue, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Always my pleasure, my dear Liz.
Great conversation.
Absolutely.
And thank all of you. And for those of you celebrating the new year, happy Rosh Hashanah, Good Yontiv, Lashana Tova. And even if you're not celebrating the Jewish New Year, let's just all step into the new and wonderful and beautiful energy that's coming forth this next year. I am seeing it and I am feeling it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Much love, everyone.